What absurd opening do you have for me this time?
You didn't know I used to be a Shanti, right?
No, I did not.
I could introduce you to Fat Joe if you want me to.
Is Fat Joe still fat? Give Ozempic?
Fat Joe lost a bunch of weight.
Still Fat Joe?
He's still like officially, he's still officially Fat Joe, but I don't think he qualifies as Fat Joe anymore.
So we're doing a AMA episode today. I have sourced questions from our Facebook group, Unofficial Shopify Podcast Insiders, and you as my business partner, longtime Shopify developer, show producer, just let that praise wash over you. Yes, Zen-like state of acceptance.
Really,
You're gonna help me here.
I'm the platform you've built everything on top of. If I'm not here, you collapse immediately.
I stand on the shoulder of giants. A giant. Mr. Paul Rita. And so I love our opening question. Longtime listener, Braden Steffenshine. He wants to go hacker mode, dev mode. He wants to know the tips and tricks for sleuthing in a Shopify store.
So if you go on any store and if you're on a product page, at the end of the URL, if you type in .json on the end, like .json, like you're looking for a file, and load that, it'll just load all the data. It's not like trade secrets. I mean, it's just like, oh, what's the name of this product? Like, what are some of the tags on this product? Like, what collections are it in? Like, when was it published?
Yeah. It's all the stuff that you would see in the admin listing.
Yeah. Well, not all of it, because as I discovered this week, some stuff doesn't come through in that. Like, it'll tell you what controls the inventory. Like, if it's Shopify inventory or the inventory is not tracked and that side of stuff, but it will not tell you how many are in stock. So you can't like game it to be like, ooh, there's only 5 left, I'm going to buy all 5. Like, you can't.
There are browser extensions that is like Shopify Store Spy, that kind of thing. And they're like, oh, here's all the information we'll give you. That's what it's doing. It's just loading that JSON endpoint and then parsing the info for you. A couple other ones I like doing, /sitemap.xml is the store sitemap. You probably had to submit that to Google Search Console, but you could just load that up on any store. And Shopify's is really nice. It groups it by page types. It'll be like products, pages, collections. And so often I'm curious, like, hey, what's in the pages? And then I'll get all the URLs out of that, use a browser extension to load them up quickly. I think the extension, it's called copy paste URLs. And then doing that, like, let's say a store has 100 pages. Well, I'll just have all of their pages open in 100 tabs in Chrome, and then I'll just quickly go through them looking for, like, is there some promo landing page that's inspirational? Like, I figured this out for doing store migrations and SEO stuff, but just also an interesting competitive research tool. You can do the same thing, or you just look at collection/all. By default, it's just going to dump out all the store's products, and then you sort by best-selling.
I mean, that's what I do, because it's like if I'm just as a shopper, sometimes I'm on a store and I'm just like, oh, this is definitely Shopify. And it's like, oh, all of these collections, there's all these collections and they all have 2 products in them and they make no sense. I'm just like, all right, now collections all. Like, give me all the products and I'll figure it out.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
The workaround to that is you make a collection with the handle all, just select collection/all. You just make that, and then it replaces.
That's how you can kind of block it.
If you wanted to block this particular effort.
It's useful. I mean, it's just listing out all the products on your store that are available.
Yeah, and then you go sort by best-selling, and you can see what is the big bestseller.
Yeah, but I sometimes as a user, I want that.
So March 5th, in the Shopify changelog, they've got this thing, the AI theme generator tool. We played with this earlier. What'd you think?
It sucked. Sucked.
Ooh. All right, I don't think we could say sucked. I tried this with you, and we gave it several different variations on prompts, and it just felt random.
It was just the same crap all the time. And the thing that really galled me is if it's running on the store, it should know the store name, products on the store, some data that's already been entered.
No, it doesn't. It seemed to be totally independent.
It didn't know any of that. Yeah. I mean, if you told me, oh yeah, that Shopify AI theme tool, they just have a static template of images of 50 different themes, and it just picks 3 at random and just gives it to you. Like, yeah, okay, I could see that.
100% I could see this idea working, though, if it were like, a little...
I could see it working if it used, I don't know, the JSON data available from any Shopify store to actually fill it out and make it look like it is your store.
I think there's a reason.
It has no connection to the store it's being run on whatsoever.
That's what was odd about it. Maybe, it'll get somewhere someday. These things are evolving quickly.
Oh, like other?
Yeah, V1, not ideal.
Don't worry, man. AI, it's going to run the world real soon, I promise. Just give me 10. Listen, I just need $20 billion this quarter. And
okay, just $1 billion?
That's it. No,
just
20
for 90
billion.
days?
Just 20 billion for the next quarter. And it's going to run
the electricity bill?
It will, for everything. It's going to run the world, I promise.
How many GPUs do you need?
I need 20 billion, and I need SoftBank to borrow money in order to give me the 20 billion. But don't worry, it'll all pay off in the end. I swear.
I think the idea that AI could generate a decent store is totally plausible.
Again, because Shopify, great at data structuring. Super great at it. And just, hey, could the AI ingest that data maybe?
No, I think you could make this work, but the version I saw, not impressing me. Our next one, Jim McDonald and Ann Thomas, we're going to combine these. We're looking for Shopify market predictions for 2025. So grab ye old crystal ball.
I'll just say our first 2 months of the year were bad.
It's slow.
Then the last month, it's just been banging.
Crazy.
Like, it's crazy. So it all just like shot out of a cannon the last 4 weeks.
That's our personal experience.
That's our personal experience. The official economic data metrics that have been released are not bad.
Consumer sentiment's low.
Consumer sentiment is awful. Things that people consider hard data, nothing bad has happened yet, but all of the forward-looking data is like recession is coming.
No.
So, but then again, I also remember 3 years ago when they're like, we will 100% be within a recession in the next 12 months. And then that just never happened.
What changes is consumer sentiment. The things people are willing to buy change. But at the same time, we've got client stores that sell stuff no one needs. Like, right? Like if I buy another t-shirt or whatever, my life is not going to change. But the stores that have that have some novelty, that are able to continually do collabs, are able to continually do releases, are doing stuff like live selling with video, they're doing really strong, right? They're up year over year. And then Store Leads, which is like this third-party analytics app that gives you data about Shopify stores. According to them, Shopify stores Q4 last year over year, were up 5%. There's net more of them now than there were last year.
So the answer is we don't know. Yeah. And if we did know, we wouldn't tell you. We would just put it all in the stock market, whichever way we thought it was leaning, and then would make money on it.
I don't think options trading is where I should be spending time.
Well, I'm not saying options trading. Come on. I'm not stupid.
Jim McDonald's got another AI question. AI coding. He specifically wanted to know if you personally use AI to write code.
I can't say I never have. I mean, I'll just be frank. I'm not the strongest at JavaScript. There have been multiple times that I have gone to ChatGPT and been like, okay, here's JavaScript that doesn't really work, but I want it to do this. Make it do that. And then the thing it spits back at me generally like 90% works, but is like still not right all the way. But then like from there, I'm like, oh, I could see that I'm smart enough to know that only 90% works. And I can then like troubleshoot that and then feed what it gave me back into it and be like, but here's the problem with this. And then it spits out another one and that one works. And so like, it's my partner in figuring this out.
I think that's absolutely the way to approach it and use it. It's like you need a sounding board. You need a writing buddy.
Yeah.
You're doing pair programming, only your partner is a dumbass AI.
Yeah, a dumbass AI that's like, yeah, because if it was just like, I want JavaScript to make the thing big, like that it wouldn't give me something good and I wouldn't know that the thing it gave me was bad and then no one's right.
I view it as a way to get me unstuck. I've had it write Python scripts that access the Shopify API and do stuff like update SEO, generate reports, add alt text images, which it's like is shockingly good at. It can look at an image, understand it, and describe it back to you. Anything that's like a copy editing
your
text.
alt text Python script is pretty sick.
Robert Williams asked, what's going on in my garage these days? My wife had this 1984 Bronco that she dearly loved.
Oh, that's right. You got rid of the Bronco.
And it was time to go. And so we sold the darn thing. Bought a used Model 3 while they're super cheap. I now own 2 Teslas, despite the fact that I can't stand Elon Musk. So I'm very conflicted.
Oh, wait, and you still have the Beetle?
And I still have our 79 Volkswagen Beetle, which that I can't part with. I love that car.
See, it's a very strange thing because like on one hand, you're like, he's got 3 cars. But on the other hand, for a very long time, it was like, yeah, 2 of them are over 30 years old and cost under $10,000. Like, that's not...
Over 40.
Like, anyone could have 10 cars if they all cost $3,000.
If 3 of them don't run. Really, the thing that gets my attention that I focus on is screwing around with my e-bike. Oh, man. Do I love being an e-bike guy. That's a good time.
In my garage is a Ford sedan and my wife's white Toyota mom SUV, and they sit there. And that's that.
All right, at least change the oil.
When it dings, I take it to Jiffy Lube when it dings.
Oh, Jiffy Stooge. Oh, dear.
Oh, that's a good one.
Jiffy Stooge?
Yeah, well, I love any of any car forum, like, terrible names.
And then Robert's other question, Shopify-related side projects. We're doing another app. We've got a successful app crowdfunder, does crowdfunding campaigns. And for our next trick, my favorite promo of all time, free gift with purchase. And I want an opinionated way to implement free gift with purchase in a store where I deem this is the easy, right way to do it, according to me. And so we partnered with Carl Meisterheim of Liquid Weekly, who's done development work with us for years. And we're building a free gift with purchase app. And I don't think I've shared that.
No, this is the first time you're mentioning it.
Ooh. We got one more thing to do before we're going to apply for the App Store listing.
Oh.
And then I'm going to start looking for merchants to test it privately with us and really like get some feedback and shape it. And then we'll make it available public. You know, it's been years since Crowdfunder, and the App Store is it's different now. It's much more crowded. And so I think this is going to be a different experience. I think it's going to be harder. Tay Alfonso Brooks asked about Shopify video optimization, which this is a question we get from clients a lot. Like, hey, I have a video and I want to put it on my product page. Do I upload it to product media? Do I upload it to YouTube and then embed it in my product description? They get really paralyzed by the options. You know, a photo, people don't think about. There's drag and drop, done. What about video?
There's my answer for if I'm doing it, and then there's the answer if you're doing it, you being the store owner.
All right, if Paul Reed is doing the video, how's he doing it?
If I'm doing it, that page is covered in video, and you know half the images are actually videos, and they're like 5 to 10 second animated GIFs, silent animated GIFs, but they're video that are just running on a loop. H.264 encoded. I encoded them myself and uploaded them to the Shopify file section and have put them in the page. That said, I have over 20 years experience doing this, and I know what I'm doing. You don't do that. Because what's going to happen is you're going to have a video that's like, oh, it's like a little 400 by 400 cutie video in my description. But you uploaded it and it's like 2000 by 2000 and it's got a giant booming soundtrack and it's 5 minutes long and it's 100 megs. And so every time anyone loads your product page, they're downloading 100 meg video. And so don't do that.
So upload it to YouTube?
I would say upload it to YouTube. Yeah. I think just the base idea of just like get the video on the page. Everyone knows how to use YouTube. It's everywhere. They already have YouTube JavaScript like loaded on their web browser. They already have YouTube installed on their phone. Like just put it all on YouTube and then put it in the pages and use the Shopify. You could put YouTube videos in your Shopify product media and it'll all just work. Now, if you want to hire me to like really just optimize the hell out of it and you just live in a video wonderland, I would love to do that.
So if I have a several minute long video, like, hey, I'm the owner of the store. I'm going to walk you through this product. And we see that like Beef Brody from Tactical Baby Gear will do those for all their products. And then he uploads it to YouTube and then embeds it in the product description. I like those. But then they'll also they'll either record these directly or they're cut downs from the video, but it'll just be like, all right, we're going to show you this one feature on a backpack.
So it's like a perfectly little looped 8-second thing.
So sub 10 seconds, no audio.
Yeah, that should be a video. That should be a video that you have autoplay muted. There's flags you put inside the video tag, autoplay, muted, loop, and it just does that. It just runs constantly. It looks real nice. I don't trust you to do that because I've seen too many stores where that's there, and then it's like 30 megs. And it's like, that should not be 30 megs.
But then, okay, the easy alternative if you're the merchant is like, oh, I'm going to convert it to GIF.
That's even worse. I mean,
that's the funny catch.
Yeah, the GIF is also going to be like 10 megs or like 12 megs. It's
such an old format and so unoptimized. The GIF will 100% of the time be bigger than the video. Really, the safe choice is put it on YouTube.
Put it on, I mean, for those long form ones, and if you want to do like the really nice art directed, like GIF-like, just running videos, you gotta be sure you know what you're doing. I beg of you.
Lastly, the spam war. Somebody was asking about double opt-in for newsletters. Like, is that best practice? Pros and cons of double opt-in.
Double opt-in.
Combating spam.
Double opt-in is what?
I hit your Shopify checkout. The first field is your email address. There's a checkbox. Is that the checkbox says sign me up for your newsletter? 1, is that pre-selected? Did the person check that? Or did that just show up by default checked? That's an option in Shopify. And then 2, once they sign up, do they get an email saying, hey, click this to confirm the subscription? That's the double opt-in.
Okay.
And so the true double opt-in would be they had to check the box themselves, and then they had to click confirm in their email. That's where we get the double from.
And the real way to do it is you have it checked by default and you don't notify them.
You know, I think, all right, if I'm entirely privacy compliance concerned.
Well, here the problem is then there's all these different jurisdictions. There's what the EU wants you to do. The state of California has passed an act that has like various regulations of what you got to do. So there's jurisdictional questions about where your customer is.
Yes. And rightly, you know, these various governments are starting to say, hey, internet privacy, you know, your personal information, someone needs to put some guardrails on what's happening there. The problem is it's a patchwork. You know, it varies depending on jurisdiction. And the solution that I've noticed Shopify start to do, and I love, is they try to automate it. You know, they tell you like, hey, this isn't legal advice, we're not your lawyer, et cetera. But better than nothing. In the privacy policy settings, it can now try to handle a lot of that automatically, like whether it shows the data sale opt-in and opt-out, and the privacy policy page itself. And so in theory, it could create all that automatically and then keep it up to date on its own. So I like opting into those features that automate this. And I noticed in a store recently, they do the same thing for whether or not that opt-in on the email at checkout is checked. Is it checked by default? You can have it be like, all right, depending on where they're coming from, that's how we make that decision. And just let Shopify handle it for you. That's what I'm going with as my preference. Like in the email itself, for sure I would do the double opt-in. I'd have them confirm. Because like a lot of email providers, you're going to pay by the total number of subscribers you have. And so we don't want a bunch of junk in there. So that's my answer. Double opt-in, and wherever Shopify says, hey, we could do if it's privacy related, Shopify says, look, this is what we recommend. Just do that.
I just send money to everyone's Hotmail account.
You just scroll through your spam folder. You're like, wow, look at all these amazing opportunities. He needs my help?
He's in Nigeria?
Whoa.
He needs my help.
No, don't. Those aren't real, Paul. Don't do that.
I'm old school. It's a Spanish prisoner.
Well, I'm excited for Editions.dev, the Shopify Partner Conference coming up. That's always fun.
Do finger guns at Toby? Will he do them back to you?
I don't think so.
Justin's not going to be there this time. I know you were hobnobbing with Justin the last time you went.
The former Prime Minister of Canada?
Is he no longer Prime Minister of Canada?
He was there. The man who just hands out selfies at that time. I can't believe I missed my opportunity for a Justin Trudeau selfie. Oh, well. All right, we'll end it there. See you guys.
Bye-bye. Cut that. Don't include that on anything.
No.
Send it to me as a GIF later.
Oh.